Your journey has been long, it's been hard, it's been tiring. But today, but right now, in this moment, a new door is opening for you. The next chapter in your life is ready to unfold. And today we're going to work with the Maiden, Mother, and Crone archetypes to find out what are the themes of this new chapter, what triggers are going to appear, and what resilience is going to emerge as you step into this new chapter of your life. This is your friendly reminder. If you're catching the replay, you can always 2x your speed or click the timestamps below to jump straight to the message. Before we begin, I want to tell you about the energies I was working with. One thing I want to talk about is if you caught yesterday's live stream, you saw it was a hot mess. Now, there have only been 2 live streams I've ever done where the energy has been too much for me to handle or where I didn't know what was going on. Yesterday, it wasn't too much for me to handle, but my guides just kept blaring this alarm in my system that I needed to get off of the live stream immediately. Like, I wasn't scared, but it was like, get out now. I don't know why. I had to drive kind of far yesterday after I got off the live stream, so maybe it was just them protecting me in traffic. I don't know, but it's always uncomfortable when you're doing something in public in front of people and it looks like you're an idiot and you don't know what you're doing. But I always trust my guides. I trust what I'm feeling. And I know I've had too many experiences in my life where if you don't listen to that instinct, if you don't listen to your intuition, bad things happen. So I apologize if you missed that. We're looking forward to having a personal reading. I am going to do my best today to make sure that you get them. So if you stick around to the end, we'll help you out. If you can't, you can always put your question in the chat and I will answer it at the very end and you can catch it in the replay. All right. That being said, when I ended yesterday's live stream, I went ahead and started pulling the cards, and I was going to do another one and go straight into this message because this is one that I had to skip and I wanted to go, it's been on my heart. I really wanted to do it. And for some reason, I'm being called to working with all 3 of the archetypes for some reason. It's really on my heart right now. But what I did was I went ahead and pulled all the cards and I was getting them ready. I was working with the energies. And again, my inner compass said, hi. I can never read usernames right. I'm just going to use your number. Hi, 4011. But anyway, when I was working with the cards, instead of going live right away, I decided that I was going to let the energy air out. And so I went ahead and I pulled some cards, and those are the cards that you see in the thumbnail. So we had the Star, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Wands. And I left those on my desk overnight, let the energy kind of just like percolate, circulate, air out anything that was messing with yesterday's energy. I wanted to just get it out of here. And then another idea that came through was the idea of a bullseye. It's going to be about the next chapter in your life. Themes, triggers, and resilience. Hi, Juanita. Everybody, just so you guys know, if you would like a personal reading, I'm going to do them at the very end. If you can't stay till the end, you can put your question in the chat and then I'll answer it and you can go back and look at the replay and click the timestamp for personal readings, okay? So I'm doing an energy check before we start. So the energy from yesterday, there was the idea of bullseye. And then this morning when I woke up, there were crows going crazy outside. Crows are one of my spirit animals, my spirit guides. And the last time that I had a response from them this way, where they were going crazy, like there was like a flock of them that flew over my house last time something like this happened. I had very important information about somebody that I care about came through. So maybe this next chapter in your life is going to be a really big deal. The idea of moving came through. So maybe that's something that's coming up in your chapter. We'll see as we get into the cards. Some other things that came through for signs could be playing Tetris or Candy Crush, Japan, taking a trip to Japan, or if you're really interested in Asian design, Asian botanicals or landscaping. Let's see. Bad hair days, the numbers 369, 678, and 999 came through. And Belly dancers came through. Weird stuff was coming through, guys. And then the last thing is FedEx delivery trucks. Now, this is a personal sign for me, and it's been getting on my nerves because it won't go away. And I didn't want to bring it up, but it keeps coming through that I need to mention it in a reading. So somebody, that's a sign for you. I don't know. It could be all delivery vehicles, but that particular company came through for me. All right. I think that's everything. So the way I like to do my live streams is I always start with breath work, because breath work brings us into the present moment, right? It helps remind us that we are sovereign beings, that we are in control of our lives, we are in control of our own stories. And so this is a great way to just tap into your body, relieve some of that stress that we carry, get out of the urgency that we run through every single day. We're going to do a really simple breathing exercise. It's called box breathing. We're going to breathe in through the nose for 4, hold your breath for 4 seconds, breathe out through your mouth for 4 seconds, and then you're going to hold your breath for 4 seconds. We'll do this 3 times, and then after that, we'll go ahead and get into the message. All right, are you ready? Let's begin. Very nice. Continue to scan your body, check in with yourself throughout the message. If for any reason you're like really stressed out, connect with your breath, okay? That helps calm you down. These are my signs. The other sign that I had that I forgot to mention was angels. So maybe you're having encounters with angels, dreams of angels, or maybe people are calling you an angel right now, or saying that you have an angelic presence. So that was one other sign. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into. Hi guys. Okay. I'm sorry that there's a lag. There's always a lag in the chat response for me to you guys. But we're going to go ahead and get into this message. This is Maiden Mother Chrono Tarot. So first I'm going to pull 3 cards from each archetype for the themes of your next chapter, the triggers of your next chapter, and the resilience emerging in your next chapter. I'm so glad you feel better. I always feel better. And I forgot to do this, but box breathing, I love it because you're literally making a box. I normally do the box while we're doing it. So if you're stressed out or anything, you can always do that anywhere you are. Super simple breathing exercise. All right, Maiden, can you give us 3 cards? 1 for the theme of this next chapter, 1 for any triggers, thank you, that this collective will have, and then 1 for the resilience emerging. Sounds good. I'll see you back in a little bit, 4011. All right, we got 1 card. 1 more, please, for triggers for this next chapter. Thank you. And 1 more for resilience of this next chapter, please. Thank you. All right. Oh, these are beautiful. We have the Chariot on the bottom of the deck. That's awesome, exciting energy. All right. First card we got is the Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, and then we have the 10 of Cups. Awesome. All right, now we're going to work with the Mother. Mother, can we please have 3 cards? 1 for themes for this next chapter, 1 for triggers, and 1 for resilience. 1, 2 more, please. You're in the Philippines. Nice. Is that 3? 2, 3. Yes. Thank you, Mother. We have the Moon on the bottom of the deck. This is a very beautiful card. Look at that. Wow. This is one of my favorite decks. The artwork is just stunning. Bone, Stone, and Earth Flesh, if anybody's interested. The reimagined version or something. All right, the first card we get is the 8 of Pentacles for themes. Ooh, Missouri, nice. Aren't they beautiful? For triggers, we have 2 of Pentacles with the Rainbow Spider. And then for the resilience emerging, we have the 4 of Pentacles with the Lady of Jewels. Yeah, I love these cards. They're so gorgeous. You didn't miss anything, my friend. I just pulled the cards from the Mother. Now we're going to pull from the Crone, and then I'll get into the message. All right, Crone, 3 cards. 1 for themes for this next chapter, for this collective. 1 for triggers, and 1 for resilience that's emerging, please, Crone. Thank you. 1, 2 more, please. 2, 3. All right, and we have the 7 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Now, this deck is called the Dark Reflections deck. It is specifically made to work with your shadow, if you're familiar with that terminology. It's kind of like a psychology term. It's used in spirituality, but it's really about psychology. So there is that. All right, so the first card we got is the 6 of Pentacles, followed by the 6 of Swords. Ooh, we got 2 6s, 6 6. That's somebody's number. And then the last card we got is the King of Wands. Yes. Oh, look at that. There you go, Juanita. Okay. So normally the way I read this is I read it each message from the Maiden, the Mother, and the Crone. But because I did 3 cards from each of these archetypes, I'm going to read down. So we're going to read what your themes are, what your triggers are, and what your resilience that's emerging is going to be. Okay. At the very end, we will pull one of these cards. It's called the Vagus Nerve Deck. It helps you regulate your nervous system, to help you ground this message into your body, carry it forward into your life, open up that new chapter. And then at that point, we will go ahead and do personal readings for anybody that's interested. All right. So themes for this next chapter of your life. Well, good news. Look at this Knight of Cups. Look at that. So on my way in this morning, I was listening to a song, and it said, it was talking about the idea of pouring from an overflowing cup. So pouring into yourself. So that's the first message I got with this Knight of Cups, is that you are going to have a full cup to be able to pour out. You're going to be full of love. You're going to be full of energy. You're going to be full of confidence. Also just came through. So confidence in your abilities, confidence in, and also self-worth, feeling that you are going to be worthy of the love, that you're pouring love because you know that you're worthy to receive love, right? You're not pouring love because you're desperate for it, but love is something that is your birthright. It's something that it's literally what you are. You are love. That's your existence. As a soul, that is what you are made of, right? That's your essence. Now, with the 8 of Pentacles coming from the Mother, this is the Master, right? This takes diligent work. You have to go over and over and over again. So I'm hearing like this next chapter in your life where this love is going to be overflowing. You're going to, it's because of the work that you've done and the work that you are doing in your life, right? Now we're going to go ahead and read this card in particular because it stands out to me. This deck has characters with each of these. So this is called the Sacred Smith. So she's like a blacksmith or something. So we're going to read her story and see how it ties into this new chapter, themes for your chapter, for your new chapter. All right. All right. Since she was a babe, Sable sat in awe of her father's skill. Her father was a well-known smith who thought to be able to bend the will of iron. Ooh, I love that. To bend the will of iron. Ooh, you definitely have to be a master to do that, right? However, he was a selective man. He was often heard asking rather odd questions. Questions that were designed to assess their honor. If satisfied, he would offer his services. If unsatisfied, he would send them packing. All the while, Sable watched on in awe and respect for her noble father. Yes, respect. Respect is going to be a big theme in this next chapter for you. As she grew, her desire became clear, much to her mother's dismay. Aren't we all dismaying our mothers? I know I am right now. Bye, 4011. Much to our mother's dismay, she showed little interest in what were then considered feminine pursuits, right? She wants to be a smith and wanted to become. Oh, no, Sable wanted. Oh man, can I speak? No. Sable wanted to follow in her father's footsteps and become a smith. But to succeed in her ambition, she would have to show more promise than any other. And so began her journey towards mastery, right? Yeah. A journey that would take years. She would walk the road of magic and mysticism to become the greatest sacred smith known to the lands. That is so awesome. Yeah, so this next theme, like you are becoming a master. And again, since this is Pentacles energy, it's something in your actual physical reality, 3D reality. You know, with this love and this self-worth and confidence carrying you through in the beginning of this new chapter, mastery is going to be something, I'm not going to say it's easy, right? Becoming a master of anything is never easy, but when you are in the right heart space and head space, and you have that solar plexus that's running exactly the way it's supposed to, knowing that you are worthy, knowing that you are enough, knowing that you are loved, then this journey of mastery is much easier because you have that fuel that's carrying you through it, right? It takes time to become a master. It takes time to refine your skill and your craft and to be able to stand out. But that's what the theme is for your next chapter. Hi, Roblox boy. And one of the best things I love, this is one of my favorite cards in tarot, is the Six of Pentacles. That of give and take, that of generosity, that of charity, that of being able to give from the fullness of what you have. I was talking about having an overflowing cup at the beginning, right? Being able to give not out of lack, not out of, I'm trying to prove my worth, I'm giving because I have to, but being able to give because you are in a state of abundance, right? That abundance follows you. You are a magnet for abundance. And the more you attract, the more you're able to give. It's such a beautiful energy. I remember when I was going through a lot of my shadow work and dealing with lack and that just scarcity programming. One thing I talked, like there's so much shame around having money and being wealthy and being able to be generous, right? And I was talking to one of my coworkers and was like, there's so much shame around it, but really if you have more, that means you can give more. It means you can steward more. It means you can create more, right? And so this Six of Pentacles energy, oh man, it's going to be so beautiful in this next chapter. Yes, you can get a free reading. I'm going to do them at the very end. If you can't stay, you can put it in the chat and I will answer your question at the very end and you can just catch it in the replay, okay? All right, now we're going to move on to triggers. Triggers for this next part of your journey. So I can tell you I would be triggered by this. I'm not going to lie. I am already kind of triggered in my own life. With the Knight of Pentacles coming from the Maiden, the Knight of Pentacles is like the cautious, slow knight. It takes his time, but he's doing stuff intentionally. And so this next chapter of your life may not unfold as quickly as you want. Unfortunately, it may take some time, and that could be triggering for you, especially if you're impatient like me, right? And you can have a head knowing that, yeah, you can't become a master overnight. Like you can have that head knowing, but if you're very impatient and a little bit impulsive, that can be hard to embody. So it's going to take time, and that can be triggering for you. It's going to take we know it's going to take perseverance to become a master, but the steadiness that's required, okay? Don't let the steadiness trigger you, all right? Maybe you need to figure out ways to build in some type of novelty into this that you are trying to, like, I'm feeling like your work. Like reward yourself for the little things that you achieve, okay? Because over the course of a year, over the course of 5 years, over the course of 10 years, those little things add up and they are so, 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 so big, right? Your life won't look the same if you keep moving forward, even if it's just an inch at a time, okay? So don't let that trigger you. Don't let that stop you. Don't let that, I heard something, I went to a funeral this weekend, and one of the things that her name was Nanny Jen, that Nanny Jen told her family was, it's okay to give out, just don't ever give up, right? So this next chapter could be triggering because it could be heavy. It could take a long time. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to rest and recharge. Just don't stop. Okay. Now we have the Two of Pentacles. So again, the idea of your work, it's really heavy with your work right now. Balancing your personal life and your work life is going to be a little bit challenging, a little bit triggering. And I'm feeling like it's not that you don't want to. I feel like people in your life are going to maybe give you a hard time. Like, you're working too much. You need to spend more time with me. Why aren't you home? Why aren't we going out more? Like, if you're friends, right? So being able to balance this energy is going to be triggering for you. What I would say is just be very open with your communication with these people. Be like, look, this is only for a specific period of time, and you can actually map out real goals. Like, once I finish this project, we will go on a date. Like, that can be a reward. I was talking about building rewards into this, right? Once I finish, maybe you're going back to school. Once I finish this course, or once I get an A on this paper, or once I get a passing grade on this paper, we'll go out to dinner. We'll go out for drinks. We'll go out and do whatever. So it could be triggering, hi 4011. It could be triggering for you to balance all of the things that are going on in your life. But you can do it. It takes work. It takes intentionality. And again, the whole thing I said about you can give in, just don't give up. If you need to take a break, take a break. That's okay. And that can be from friends too. Be like, look, this month I am completely focused on my work. Next month we will get back together and I will host dinner at my house. You guys come over and we'll have a great time. Okay. The last thing that I'm seeing is triggering is not going to be triggering for you. It's going to be triggering for people around you. So with the Six of Swords coming out from the crone, I'm seeing like this next chapter of your life, you're doing so much work and you're putting in all this effort and you're actually making improvements and changes in your life. You're going from somewhere that was much more tumultuous, much more unsettled, much more unstable, and you're going to move into calmer waters, clearer skies, like no more stormy nights, no more unsettling places. You're going to be comfortable. Okay. Now, and I was talking about this too, like with there being so much shame around money, especially if your business starts to take off, or if you get this massive, what is the word? Promotion. You get this massive promotion in your job. That could be triggering to your coworkers. That could be triggering to your friends. Maybe if you're in a partnership and you make more money than your partner, that can make them feel uncomfortable. This is going to be triggering to other people around you, which could be triggering to you, right? Sometimes the people that we care about the most are the ones that hurt us the most. So during this phase, when all of the things that you've been working for, when the abundance starts flowing, when things are calmer, when you are not as overwhelmed and things make more sense, don't let other people's opinions of your success and other people's opinions of the good things happening in your life make you feel bad. Don't let them steal your joy. Don't let them say, oh, well, of course, good things always happen to you. And you know what? If they say you're lucky, just let them say it. It's fine. We know how much work you've put into this, okay? And if they say that good things happen to you, you claim that energy. Yes, good things are always happening for me. Everything is unfolding for my favor. Claim that energy, right? So other people are going to be triggered by your success, is what I'm hearing. You're going to have such a calm, such a beautiful, such a different life that people are going to not recognize you anymore. All right. Now, if we move on to the last part of the message, resilience that's going to emerge in this next chapter of your life. We have the Ten of Cups. So what I'm hearing for this card is it's not just resilience for you. It's going to be resilience for generations to come. Like, you're setting a precedent. You're setting an example for your friends, for your siblings, for your children. They're going to see, okay, look, mom and dad worked so hard for this period of time and they never lost sight of the goal. They may have taken breaks, they may have gotten burnout, but we were open and we talked about what was happening. And I knew they were doing this for all of us. And now we have this established family happiness. And it's something you're going to share, like maybe you're going to share this publicly. Maybe this is something that you may be featured in a news story. Somebody might write a blog post about you. It could be shared on social media. the contentment and fulfillment that you're going to feel, the emotional freedom, the emotional overflow. I was talking about having that overflowing love at the beginning. And that resilience is not just for you, it's going to be passed down, right? Now, with the Four of Pentacles, if this isn't a resilience card, I don't know what is. Sometimes we talk about the Four of Pentacles as clinging on too tightly to something, right? Refusing to let go. But what I'm seeing is the lessons that are going to be learned in this next chapter of your life, the financial abundance that you're going to call in, the energetic frequency that you're going to ground into your life is going to carry on for generations, right? Look, even when this person is gone, the wind is still moving, the energy is still blowing, the jewels are still there. This resilience, this financial resilience, this emotional resilience, this energetic resilience is going to carry on, right? Long, long after these years. In the next chapter, it's still going to be there. In the next chapter, it's still going to be there. It's not something that just fades. And with the King of Wands closing out this message from the Crone, the wisdom here, right? Having the vision for something that no one in your no one in generations before you has been able to have. Breaking those limiting beliefs. Writing a new base story of this is what we accept. We will accept nothing less than this. Sitting on the throne and claiming that vision, having the vision for it, making sure that everyone in your circle is working towards that vision, delegating things out, not being 100% responsible, right? The king's not doing all the work. The king has people that works for him, right? The king holds the ground. The king makes the law. The king holds the line and ensures that his vision is executed. God, this is power. This is like charisma. This is beautiful energy. The King of Wands is your resilience. Are you kidding me? Wow. That's beautiful. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull our Vitality card from this Vegas Nerve deck to close out this message, and then I will open up to personal readings. One card, please, to close out this message. This one. It's called Soothing Chi. This practice, which activates and harmonizes the body's energy centers, draws inspiration from the Chinese art of, I'm going to say this wrong, Qigong. Sorry. I'm a Southerner. We can't talk. And the concept of Qi, our vital life force. Synchronizing your breath with movement creates a sense of tranquility and balance. And I will also say, like, if this isn't something you like, I love yoga. I like the restorative yoga or yin yoga because it's very similar. It's very intentional movement, grounding your body. All right, so you're going to stand comfortably, softening your knees. Feel the connection of your feet to the earth. Sense energy rising from your feet to your spine. As you sense it, you can imagine it. You can visualize that energy moving from the earth up through your body. Inhale, raising your arms above your head, palms inward. As you exhale, bend your elbows and turn your palms toward the ground. Guide your hands toward the earth like a French press. Repeat 9 times. This is what it's telling you to do. I am not an expert at this at all. I'm just seeing a lot of geometrical shapes looking at these arrows, though. So maybe sacred geometry is something that's important to you guys. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me for this message. We're going to go ahead and open it up now to personal readings. If anyone would like a personal reading, let me know in the chat. Tell me your name and your question and which archetype you want me to use. If you don't tell me, I'm just going to pick one, but I have the Maiden, Mother, and Crone archetypes. This was the Maiden's deck. This is the Mother's deck. And this is the Crone's deck. All right, so Ivy, money issues for your fiance and you have been super rough. You've had a strange calling to play the lottery. My question is, will ever win a large sum from it? Okay, will you ever win a large sum from it, or will either of you, or I guess will you is the question. Let's see. Shall we? Let me get all these cards put up and I will pull a card for you. Appreciate you sticking around, Ivy. Okay, for sure, either of you. Anybody else want a personal reading? Put it in the chat for me. Do you have a deck preference, Ivy? Okay, sounds good. Juanita, do you have a deck preference? Ivy, for you, I'm feeling called to the crone. And I might pull the guidebook and read whatever comes through for that. All right, crone. For Ivy, can we please have guidance? Will she or her fiance ever win a large sum of money from the lottery? I got two cards, not just one. So we'll see. We have the star on the bottom of the deck. That's encouraging. We have the hermit and the 5 of cups. So I am thinking that's a no. What I'm hearing is with the hermit, this is the introspection card. So it seems like you need to be in the correct energy to be playing the lottery. And if you're playing from lack, when it comes to manifesting things, you have to already feel that energy and embody that energy to manifest it. So if you're playing because things are hard and you're hoping to, because you think you need it, you're not going to win. But if you can go inward, right? Do the inner work required where you're looking at those feelings of lack. I was talking about my own feelings of lack and scarcity, and it's programmed into us so much, right? I get it. But if you can work with those energies, it'll really help you prevent this 5 of cups from coming through, which could be, you could regret spending the money on it, right? Because you weren't in the right energy to win. But I mean, the star is on the bottom of the deck. This is energy. This is healing and hope, right? So I feel like I definitely wouldn't do it right now. That's the energy I'm getting, is definitely do not do it right now. But for sure, you definitely want to make sure you're in the right energy to play. Okay. Also, the one thing I'm being led to say is playing the lottery can be very addictive. Like if you do win, you could be like, oh, I'm going to play more. And so you're going to keep using your winnings to buy more tickets. And then you end up like not winning anything because you used all your profit to buy more tickets. So watch out for addictive energy also. But again, just work on that baseline energy you have. You are abundance. I know it may not seem like it, but tap into the abundance of space around you. Look at the room. See how much space is around you. Go outside. See how much space is around you. That is abundance. Tap into that abundance, okay? All right, let's see. We're going to go to Juanita's question now. All right, so my 17-year-old married and separated, and he thinks he can come on weekends. This has been going on since August. He's a mama's boy too, but he cheated 8 years ago and just told you. All right, so you've been married 17 years. Sorry, okay, not your 17-year-old. So you've been married 17 years and you just separated because he cheated on you 8 years ago. Your mom and dad, your dad's still here. Your mom passed away. Mother's Day is rough. Yeah, I can imagine. Your ex is a Capricorn. Okay, Juanita, what exactly are you wanting me to ask for you? Did I miss it in the beginning? What's ahead for you and him? Okay, for sure. Are you okay if I use the mother's deck? I'm feeling called to that for you. That's this one. Yeah, you do, honey. We always have a choice to make. All right, Mother, guidance for Juanita, please, in this difficult situation in her life. Dealing with an infidelity. I'm going to do more than just one card for you because this is a bit of a more guidance, please, Mother. One more card, please. Thank you. You have the 7 of Wands on the bottom of the deck, so this is standing your ground. Juanita, I can't even with these cards. Like, you have beautiful cards. What's ahead for you? All right, so the first card we got is the 6 of Pentacles. Feed the birds. The next card we got is the 9 of Cups with the Peacock Queen. One thing for this card that I will say is the idea of spoiling yourself, enjoying healthy levels of self-care and enjoying luxury and really settling into that comes through. So self-care is going to be a really big deal for you. And then the last card you got is the Empress. I have to cover it up because of the rules, but this is such a beautiful card. This is receiving energy, receiving all of the things you've ever hoped for with the 9 of Cups, all of the things you've ever desired. You know, being together, I've not been together 17 years. Let's see, you said 17 years. I've been married, going on, this will be 12 years in October. We've been married. So not quite as long, but I understand that once you've been with somebody for a long time, it gets very comfortable, right? You take things for granted. And it's what I'm hearing is, yes, obviously the infidelity is a big deal, right? Is he willing to go to a therapist with you to work through these things? Because I haven't dealt with this problem, okay? My partner's never cheated on me. I've never cheated on my partner. But I do know people that have gone through this. And one thing that I've heard is for the person that has been cheated on, so that would be you in this case, triggers come up randomly. Something will happen and it will remind you of that infidelity. It will remind you of that pain. And it will happen indefinitely for long periods of time, right? You could be actively working together to make this relationship successful, and they could think everything is fine, and all of a sudden you have a trigger. So that's why therapy is so important, for them to understand that, yes, they admitted that they cheated on you, and yes, they apologize, but that wound runs much deeper than a 30-minute conversation and a week of spoiling you, right? They have to really come in with this reciprocal energy where they're understanding that if you decide to open up and give back into this relationship, open up and pour back into this relationship, then they have to be willing to do the same thing. It's not a one-sided thing. And I would say if this has been a one-sided marriage, if you have been the one pouring into this marriage, if you've been the one being taken advantage of, you need to hold your ground. I wouldn't let that back in, because the energy that's ahead for you is the energy of the 9 of Cups and the Empress. The energy of reciprocal, somebody giving to you equally, somebody that wants to invest in you as much as you invest in them. Somebody that if you share your desires with the 9 of Cups, if you share your dreams and your wishes, they are going to pour into you in a way that is beautiful, in a way that is abundant, in a way that lets you rest, that lets you sink into your femininity, that lets you receive. Now, that's another thing I would say is while you may need to hold your ground with him, you may need to have very healthy boundaries. And once you make your mind up whether you are going to stay or you're not going to stay, you need to stick with that decision and really, like, I would say at least 6 months, give it a go, right? If you decide to let him back and you want to try, give it a go and try. But if not, then you have to really, like, cut those cords, right? I would say those visitations need to stop. He doesn't need to keep coming back. I think you were saying on the weekends he was trying to come. Yeah. It sounds like you've just given him, I've been alone a lot. I met 2 men, good friends. So again, like, what? Yes, I would have to. Yes, weekends. Yeah. So it sounds like, earlier I was talking to Ivy about you have to be in the energy of abundance to really attract that. To attract this partnership where it's reciprocal and where you're able to rest in your femininity and you're allowed to have the desires of your heart where they're poured upon you abundantly, you have to create a vacuum in your life, okay? If you keep letting your ex come back in, then that energy is taken up. It's contaminated. There's no space for God or the universe to bring in the type of man that you need, the type of man that can support you, okay? I would challenge you with this being alone. Another part of manifestation that's very interesting is once you decide to say, you know what, I don't care. It's not like apathy. It's like, I'm just happy either way. If you can be happy alone, then it will create the right circumstances for the right person to come in for you, because you're not needy for it. You're not clinging for it. You're not looking for it. You're open to receive, right? You're open to receive. You're resting in this beautiful energy, knowing that all the desires of your heart are ready to be poured upon you, experiencing them right now. I'm glad you're okay. Honestly, from the way you've described the relationship, it doesn't sound like it was a marriage you should have been in the first place. I'm a stranger on the internet, Juanita. Please use your own discernment. Please make sure you are doing things like get a therapist. Even if he won't go with you, you need to go see a therapist. They're not going to tell you what to do like I just did, but they're going to ask wonderful questions that guide you the best way to the answer that's true to you. Okay. They'll give you wonderful support. One thing I do know that works for me that I was doing naturally with somebody in my life that was very manipulative. It's called the gray rock method. It's where you literally just don't engage with them. Like if you have to be around them, which I have to be around this person, you just, yes, no, okay, like you just give the least amount of information as possible. And eventually, like, they're either going to get pissed off because you're not playing into their game. They're going to make some big argument, and it'll be an excellent time to set a very healthy boundary where you're like, I will not allow you to talk to me that way. If you continue to act in this way, I'm not going to come to these situations anymore. I will not be around you. Or they're going to get the picture that you're not going to put up with their BS anymore, and they're going to leave you alone. I'm telling you, it works. Like, just be a wall. Do not respond. Oh, he will, sweetie. He will. They always realize. The Empress baby doll, there's no way he wouldn't realize. He will. But that's the thing. Like, there comes a point in your self-worth journey where you're going to realize it doesn't matter what they think. You know that you're the Empress. You know that you're divine. You know that you are the prize. If they come crawling back years later because they're like, oh man, I didn't treat you the way I should have. No, you didn't. And that's just a fact of the case. And I have moved on with my life. Right? Yeah. Honey, only good things for you, baby. Only good things. Get a therapist, get a professional opinion. I'm a stranger. I'm a stranger on the internet. But I definitely don't think that you should take him back. All right, that's what I got for you, Anita. Anybody else have a reading or a question they want me to do? Let's see what we got. All right. Well, I don't see any other chat messages. Juanita, I think it might just be me and you here now. But it was a pleasure to read for you. Sending you so much love, so much light, darling. I know things will work out for you. I know they will. I feel it in the energy. Like you're already in beautiful energy. Don't let him come in and contaminate your energy, okay? Take care, darling. Everybody else, I would like to remind you on this channel, always come as you are and stay as you become, okay? We'll see you guys later.